I'm sitting on the Dehler 34 and I'm going to take you on a tour today to see what this boat has to offer. It's around 34 feet long, so it's the perfect size for two people to be cruising together, but it can also be steered perfectly well with just one person. We will see a bit later on what's possible inside with the cabin concept, so how many people actually fit on this boat. The first Dehler boat of this size came from the mid-80s and it was a huge success. It was one of the models in this class that was sold all over the world. We're starting our tour today in the very bow of our boat. You can see the foresail behind me here, and behind that's an option if you want to have it, the bowsprit that this boat has installed there. So if you want to attach a Ganaka sail, that's the place to do it. And you can also see that the anchor is inside there, and the anchor chain is coming back here to the locker on which I'm standing. The locker itself you basically just have to access for maintenance work, because the anchor chain and the anchor are controlled with an electrical anchor winch. So on the push of a button, the anchor will be lowered and also pulled back up from the water. But we will just have a look around. It's very easily accessible, and there you can see the anchor chain and also the winch there. I'm sitting on the foredeck now. There's a lot to see right next to me. So the first thing that I notice is that the entire foredeck is very open, very tidy. There's nothing lying around, and one of the main reasons is that the sheets coming down from the mast are fed into the deck behind me here, and they only come out at the back at the helmsman position. So we'll see that when we are there, but that makes the entire deck really organized. And on the side here we have the Genova rail that of course helps as well. So all the lines are nicely to the side. There's nothing lying around in the sidewalk, as you will see, which is very wide incidentally. So that makes it really nice up here. Next to me here is the mast. It's around 16 meters high, and it supports a completely all the sails. So it's a complete sail area of approximately 65 square meters. Of course, Dehler has specialized in getting the best out of both worlds, out of comfort and out of speed. So if you decide to use your boat mainly for competition, of course the mast and the sail area can also be adjusted and be widened a little, so you can use your boat in competitions as well. You can see next to me here, first on the back here we have a skylight that opens up into the saloon area below. We have one more on the foredeck here that opens into the main or the master cabin. So there's plenty of natural light coming down there, and we can open them both to get a cross breeze down there to get more fresh air into the interior part of our boat as well. And next to the skylights you see in the middle here, we have a nice teak deck that follows all the way along the sidewalk as well. That's completely up to you if you want to have that or in another color maybe. And there's also the option to have a white deck that is an anti-slip surface. So whenever the boat gets wet, if there's some waves, then you won't be slipping away at all. So this is the width of the sidewalk here. So you can see it's a lot of room, and there's always a place to hold on to. I have a little handrail to my right, and on the left I have the sea rail. So this is rather high, and I always can hold on to it if there's some waves. And what I also noticed to the side here is the cleats. They're retractable, so whenever I don't need them, they're just stored down there. Nobody can trip over them, and when I need them, when I'm in the port, I can just pull them back up and put all my lines on there that I need. I've made my way almost all the way back to the cockpit area, but on the way I'm stopping here at the spray hood. You can see it's a black material that we have here, and it's the exact same color as the lazy bag just above it. So that's completely up to you. If you want, you can choose to not have the spray hood at all, or have the lazy bag in a gray color, whatever you want, so that the boat looks just like your personal boat and exactly what you want it to look like. So on this boat here it looks very sporty with all the black color, and the steering wheels as well are black, but we will see them in just a second. I've made my way to the cockpit area. So this is one of the helmsman positions. We have two. So on the other side of the boat there's another one. So it's very easy to navigate the boat with two people, but it's also possible to do it by yourself. But of course it's more fun if there are more people involved. You can see what I said before, the steering wheel is black. It's a carbon steering wheel, but that's also up to you. You can also have it in white, or decide to have a leather covered steering wheel if that's more comfortable for you. Everything that I need is right there beside me. So you can see here I have the mainsail here as well, the main sheet, and that is controlled by the winch just next to me here, so all in very easy access. And I have my chart plotter here and the little panel there that shows me everything I need to know about wind and weather and speed, etc. When I'm navigating the boat, I can do that while standing up. I have a very good view through the spray hood because it has the little windows in the front, and I can also sit down to the side here, I'll show you that, and I can still see everything all the way towards the bow of our boat. Next to the helmsman position, you can see I also have the engine control just below me here. So if you don't want to use your sail, then of course the engine is possible as well. It's a 21 horsepower engine and it's powered by a diesel tank that can hold up to 160 liters of diesel fuel. While I'm sitting at the helmsman position, I can also show you the bathing platform. Now it's pulled up because we're still in the marina, so I won't put it down, but it's a rather simple mechanism behind it. So I just open up these parts here and on the other side, and then you can see there's a line here that is to slowly lower the bathing platform down into the water. And as we're rather close to the water now, it's not a big step down there, and then you have the bathing platform down at the water, and on the edge there's also the swimming ladder, so you can just push that over and it just falls into the water for an easy access. So this is the cockpit area. It's right next to the helmsman's positions. You can see there's a table in the middle. Now it's folded down so it's out of the way and you can navigate safely around it. But when you're sitting here and want to use the table, it's a very easy system. There's a big click and then it's up here and you have a full-size table, because on the other side, of course, you can also pull it back up. And it's very easy to push down as well. And now it's gone again. So you can sit here easily with the 4 people or even more, whoever are on board, or if you just want to invite somebody over for a wine in the evening, that's the place to sit then. And what I'm sitting on here, the side bench, that can be opened up. You can also put in here your barbecue equipment or your folding bike if you have one, whatever you need that finds a place down here in the cockpit locker. I'm on my way to the interior part now to have a look around there, but first, when I'm in the companionway here, I see where all my sheets come down that we saw before. So that's all the reef lines coming down from the mast that were fed into the deck area that kept all our foredeck so nice and tidy, and they come out here. So they're in the cockpit area. For example, the lines to trim the Genova rail that we saw, they come all out here, and the cockpit is clear of it as well. And now we'll have a look around inside. Coming downstairs into the saloon, the first thing that I see on my right is the little pantry area here. So I have a fully equipped kitchen with everything that I need when I'm on the boat for a couple of days. You can see there's a big worktop here, so everything is hidden away underneath it, so when I don't need it, I don't have to have it and have the big space to work up here. So when I open it up, for example, here is the sink and the bigger part here as well, and right next to it I have the fridge. It can be opened from the top, so everything can be put down there, but if you have heavy stuff for the fridge, there's also a second entrance down below, so you can put all the bottles, etc. just down at the bottom to make organizing a bit easier. You can see that at the back here I can open up the entire wall, and there's storage behind every single panel here that goes all the way through the saloon, so I have a lot of space to put away stuff that I don't want lying around. You can see I also have a stove and the oven below. It's a typical sailing boat oven, so it will move a little when there's waves, so just so that all the pots and pans will remain upright and don't spill everything everywhere. There's also a lot of other storage space below here, so there's definitely enough room to have around the kitchen. And behind the sink there's also this little backsplash here, so that those people sitting in the saloon will not get sprayed with your dishwater. So this is the saloon area. You can see I'm sitting on a couch. There would easily be space enough for 2 more people, and on the other side of the room there would be room for 3 or 4 more guests as well. So there's a really big sofa area for such a small boat. As you can see, as I said before, there's more storage around the sides here, so I can open up one for you to see that it's really big. It goes down a long way as well, so everything can be stored behind me here. And what you can also see here, we have a lot of indirect lighting on the ceiling and behind here as well. And of course we have the windows to get some natural light inside as well. So to the side here you can see one that can be opened as well. All the windows can in the saloon, so we can also get out the odors from cooking, for example, and create a cross breeze to get the fresh air inside. And as I said before, when we were up on the foredeck, we also have the big skylight at the top here to give us more natural light down here. Next to the sofa area, you can see we have a table. It's a similar system as the one in the cockpit, so it's stored away when you don't need it, and then you just pull up the side. There's a click, and there we have our table, and on the other side the same, so we can create a really big dining table with everybody who's on board, and everybody has a seat with the table access. What you can see on this table is the same kind of wood that we have in the ceilings and on the sides and all the furniture, and it goes very well in my opinion with the cushions that we have, so really nice light brown. But this, as well as upstairs on the outside area, is completely up to you, so you can decide what kind of wood you want, what kind of material. Even the floorboards are completely up to you, and the same goes for the cushions and the colors and materials of everything there. So whatever you want to have in your boat, whatever you want everything to look like, just talk to your dealer and he will be able to tell you all the different options, so that this boat will truly become your boat and be exactly what you want it to be. While coming over to the port side of our saloon, I noticed something very neat. There's a little flap here in the side of the saloon table. When I open it, there's a wine rack hidden inside, so I can have my little bar just next to me when I'm sitting here with my friends. So that is really cool. And of course, with the drinks you also need something to nibble, so you can open up the table here as well, and that's, in my opinion, a perfect place to put your bag of chips or peanuts. I've come over to the port side of our saloon now. You can see we have a navigation area in the corner here. So for all your sea charts that you have, you can just put down here on this little desk area, which can be opened up as well. So you can put everything away that you don't want lying around. And everything that you need is also here. We have a radio. This is a real radio, so if you want to listen to some music, there's the option to have this installed as an additional package. That comes also with some speakers that are hidden behind the storage here, and there's also speakers outside in the cockpit area if you want that. With this panel on the side here, you can control everything that can be controlled electronically on board. So you can see the little control light for the lighting concept inside is turned on because we have switched that on, and you can also check all the different lights outside. Also the air conditioning, the electrical anchor winch that we saw earlier, and all of that can be controlled from this panel here. So this is kind of your little control area inside the saloon. And what you can also see above me, all the way from the kitchen area and through the saloon, there's always a lot of headroom above me. So that's something special in this class of boat, and that is all through the entire boat. You can pretty much stand everywhere and have a lot of headroom above you. This is the bathroom. It opens up from the saloon, and you have the sink here with a big mirror behind me. Also, as well, some storage for all the toiletries you don't want lying around in the open. And as you can see, the door here is the door that will close up the sink area towards the saloon, but at the same time it's the door for the shower and toilet that's behind it there. This is called the Dehler door concept. So it's one door but with two frames, so it can be either there or here. So if some person is in the shower or on the toilet, the sink area can still be used from whoever comes from the saloon. my way back to the bow of our boat. So I'm in the master cabin now. You can see it's a big double bed. It's plenty of room for 2 people to sleep in here, and also plenty of room to store everything that you don't want lying around. So we have a shelf that runs all the way along the cabin here, and it's rather wide as well, so there's a lot of room up here to put your books or whatever you need in close proximity. And there's also 2 cupboards, one on each side, which are also pretty big to store everything you need. There's also a nice lighting concept in here. We have the little reading lights to the head side of the bed, and we also have this indirect lighting just above me here. I can show you. So this will be the dark part, and like this, it's very nice. It's a really comfortable light down here. And of course, we saw before the skylight from the foredeck that comes down here, so if we want the natural light as well, that's possible, but of course we can also close it up with some blinds to keep our privacy down here. This is the starboard side guest cabin that I have entered now. So it's starboard, and again in the back of our boat. You can see I can sit upright all the way to the back of the cabin, so that's something special for the size of the boat as well, that there's a lot of room to spread out here, and it's enough room for 2 people. We again have the little reading lights, we have a window up here and a little skylight as well, so there's even natural light coming in here. Again, a lot of storage space to the side here on the shelves, and again a big cupboard as well. So that gives us a total bed capacity of 4, so we can easily be 4 people on board of this boat. And you have seen in the saloon as well, there's enough sitting space inside and in the cockpit as well. This was a tour of our Dehler 34. I hope you enjoyed it. For myself, I can say, even though it's such a small boat, from the inside it looks a whole lot bigger, and that there's space for 4 people to sleep in here, to sit, to have space everywhere. That's pretty impressive. I hope you liked it and saw maybe a few details that you didn't know before. If you decide to get one of those boats for yourself, you can get one for less than 124,000 euros. And I would urge you to talk to one of our dealers to make possible the perfect dream boat for you. As I said before, all different materials and the choices of colors, that's completely up to you. So your boat can look a whole lot different than this one that we saw today, but maybe you got some inspiration already.